we started as a men's group in 2018, we would often have, on a monthly basis, we'd have a mass within the household before getting into our men's group. Guys really liked that. There was one day that we wanted to get nicer liturgical items rather than just pulling things together from our basements, more or less. And so we purchased our first mass kit in late 2018, early 2019. And then once some Catholic organizations heard that we had somewhat of a mass kit, they asked if they could use some of those items at their conferences and their events, and we're like, sure. And through that, the Spirit was kind of like leading us to a point where, hey, we already go to all these Catholic events throughout the Archdiocese of Milwaukee. We always help out behind the scenes at these events since we were kids. Backstage, we'd often see that these organizers would have to go to like 10 different churches to get all those liturgical items together. We thought to ourselves, well, we're there. We're already helping in a little way. Why not help in a larger way? Over the course of 7 years, we slowly built the Mobile Sacristy. The Mobile Sacristy is an enclosed trailer. We purchased that in October of 2019. Up to that point, we already had an altar. We secured an altar, we had an ambo, we had all this stuff. We used to have to drive 3 different vehicles to all these different locations that wanted to borrow all these items. Now we were able to house it inside of a trailer, makes it easier. And today now we do have about 35 to 40 liturgies that we host throughout the Archdiocese in a year. I say that lightly as far as host because these Catholic events, this is their event, we're partnering with them.
So the MCG's Mobile Sacristy personally has been, for me, a godsend, because when I used to set up these events like for Men of Christ, I used to have to borrow all these liturgical items from several different parishes who also needed their materials back right away. And, well, it just was a mismatch of many things, and it looked really poorly put together for events where the Archbishop would have to celebrate Mass. And so when the Mobile Sacristy came around, that was such a benefit for organizations like the Men of Christ, Chesterton Academy, because it really is a necessity to elevate the level of reverence at Masses. And I still remember one of the comments made at one of the earlier Masses set up by MCG at the Men of Christ conference. One guy commented, he walked into the theater, saw the altar set up just like this, and he said, oh, this is going to be different.
Yeah, the MCG's mission with the Mobile Sacristy, it's well received. At first, I was kind of actually astonished how welcoming everyone was. First of all, because we were such a help. And so the laymen involved, the event organizers at these events that we help out with, certainly thankful. The clergy is another one. Yeah, when clergy see that we are present, that we've had times where they say, okay, now I know I'm safe. Now I know I'm good. We've had cardinals use our setup. We've had bishops. But what's even more appropriate and certainly heartwarming and charging for our mission is the fact that our local ordinary, our Archbishop, has always been a strong supporter. Archbishop Emeritus Listecki once often remarked something to the effect of, this is the only one in the country, and it's in my Archdiocese. He said, it's such an innovative mission, and then that's where I said, yeah, I agree, but it's also necessary. So our bishops are certainly very supportive of what we do. Having the trust of the bishop, the blessing of the bishop, the trust of the bishop, and the office of worship for the Archdiocese of Milwaukee. Quite the responsibility on our part, but certainly quite the blessing to be trusted with such an important mission, which is bringing our Lord in the Eucharist to the Archbishop's flock here in the Archdiocese of Milwaukee. And since our Lord is truly present in the Eucharist, we want to be careful. We want to follow the rubrics. We want to make sure everything is secured and beautiful, because it sets an atmosphere at these events, at any setup that we set up at. It sets the tone that this is, we are entering worship, we are entering adoration, and it sets a prayerful atmosphere.